Hi Sagittarius, it's Dee Fernandez, your tarot reader, your psychic, astrologer, and past life regression practitioner. Today we have a tarot reading. Take what fits, Sagittarius, leave the rest out. They're general readings. If you like your own reading about your own personal situation, I'll talk a little bit about that later. Right now, let's get into the reading. And let's see what we got here. Let's see what we got. And today we're using this deck here, or various decks, and we have, this is the Literary Witches deck, and we have Mirabai, and here she is without her bra on. Okay, she doesn't care what I think. No, that's what I like about her, right? But anyway, she's playing this lute, and the story of Mirabai was she ran away from a very controlling husband, and she was from India. And so I might have to cover her, even though her nipples are showing. I don't know if I'll get in trouble for that, with that. But she wanted to, like, be happy. And Mirabai was maybe a Sag, I don't know, Sagittarius. But Mirabai was somebody who, you know, wanted to do her art and paint and, you know, and play this lute, right? It's in India, it's not a lute. I'm not sure what it is, right? It's kind of like a little guitar here. But she wanted to do these things that made her heart sing, and she was married to like a nobleman, and his parents tried to kill her and burn the palace down and all that stuff. And so Mirabai, though, left because she was devoted to, she ran away and she got away, but she was devoted to really kind of to herself, and she wanted to be happy. That's what this is about. Somebody really wants to be happy. That's the biggest message there about Mirabai. Yeah, or a relationship has, you know, burnt to the ground maybe as well. And we have Solitude, and there's Alejandra. Yeah, she's holding a broken heart. And we have Identity. Yeah, so this is about somebody who is, you know, who had a broken heart, maybe their own. Maybe they were in a relationship, possibly, but it looks like they have left, or they are now being true to who they are, right? Which is, you know, I need to live according to my values, and maybe somebody was in the wrong type of relationship. That can definitely happen, and somebody ran away from that. They might have, but they might have broken their own heart, kind of, you know, just dealing with such a situation, right? And here's the Identity card, and this is about this woman's liber, and her name was Angela Carter. I don't know a lot about her. I think she was from Oakland, California. I'm not sure, but the point about it is that it's about an identity crisis, and that's kind of what, you know, the whole women's liber thing was about. It was about, like, you know, not giving women their, I don't know, their sense of themselves, right? Where, you know, they wanted women to have their own rights. And so this identity crisis, though, talks about wanting a different life. And that's what Mirabai wanted. Somebody wanted a different life here, and maybe they ran away, maybe they broke somebody else's heart, maybe their own. I feel like it's probably both. Mirabai had a broken heart, and Angela Carter might have had one too, and that's what she was standing up for. It depends. I don't know much about her. I know that she was, kind of very assertive. We'll put it like that. Let's see what else we have. We have the Sun, and here's the Man, and this is a different deck. This is the double major arcana deck. So he's standing up. He's grown up now. So there could be something in this. Usually he's a young boy on the Sun card. And so this can also be about somebody, a lot of time has passed here, and somebody realized what they really wanted for their life was not what they, I don't know, were in, or what they chose. It does look like that. And so he's holding the sunflower up, and the sun is prominent above him. And so this is clarity about being happy, I'm pretty sure here. Yeah, these sunflowers, yeah, they talk about happiness, but they're old, very old, ancient flowers that, you know, that have to do with wisdom as well. Yeah. And here we have the Star. We're going to cover her. She's not dressed. No, she's not. I told her about that, right? And so the Star is about, the Star can be about being authentic to who you are. And she's not dressed here. And that is a sign of being true to who you are, feeling good in your own skin. She's also the water bearer. And this has to do with healing. Whenever we talk about water, it has to do with healing. Even though Aquarius is an air sign, this is about healing, and it's about hope and inspiration. Yeah, it's very interesting. Let's get another card. And we have the Magician in the reverse. So the Magician in the reverse, yeah, there's only a couple reversals here. It's meant to be, it's somebody who feels like they're not in their power, right? Remember, we have the lady holding the broken heart. So somebody here looks like they feel hurt because of the path they chose, the identity crisis card. It's kind of like, gee, wow, I realize I don't want this life. And it's kind of fighting for a sense of what you really want, identity. Yeah, it is. Let's see what else we have. And we have a couple other decks here, right? We always have lots of decks here. We sure do. It's one thing we are not short on. No, we're not. Let's see. We're going to use the dream cards today, just to see what, just to see what else we have. It doesn't mean you had a dream exactly like this. No, it doesn't. But there is some type of meaning behind each dream. And we start with paralysis, and here it is. And so, and this is, here is the lion who cannot move. And you know how they are. They're out in the jungle, and they are all about movement. They are. And so the lion here is sad. You can tell. Let's turn it over now. Dreaming that you can't move or yell. Usually it points to situations where you feel frozen, stuck, incapacitated, or disempowered. This Magician reversed is disempowered. He said, yeah, times are tough for me, and I'm not able to, I don't feel empowered, right? This could be that you are being held down by something. It could be, worse still, you sense that you are fully awake but can't escape the nightmare feeling of being paralyzed and unable to breathe properly. I think everybody's had those where you can't move. Maybe not if you have been fully ascended or fully awakened, your whole entire life. But most of us have had that type of a dream, or somebody also like chasing us, that type of dream too. Okay, and so this is sleep paralysis, and although it's scary, the situation usually resolves itself in a matter of seconds and not more than a minute or two. Yeah, but it means something deep. Right? It does. When you have a dream like that, try to relax. Some people can even slip from this state into a meditative trance or lucid dreaming. Oh, well, that's, that is true. Look at the content of the imagery in any dream of paralysis for its helpful message. This is somebody who's scared, who feels disempowered. This is the same person who, over here, the Magician reversed, the same person who just looked at themselves and had like an identity crisis, like this isn't what I want. And a lot of times at 40 we have those. The Neptune return can kind of be an identity crisis. It sure can. Like, who am I? What are my spiritual beliefs? And what is my vision for my life? That's the Neptune return. And so, yeah, and so this is a trippy reading thus far. Let's get one more dream card and see what else we have for Sagittarius. And here we have this nurse or this doctor, and this is strangers. Yeah, we're taught to fear people we don't know, but the strangers who populate your dreams are worthy of a warm welcome. Unless they're chasing you. They can highlight those personality traits that you're less familiar with, or parts of yourself you've perhaps become estranged from. Somebody might not have known themselves. That's what this is about with the identity crisis card. Somebody was not really I just had this conversation with somebody too about, about their like boyfriend, who just about somebody who has no clue about who they are really deep down. And so that makes for a difficult situation, not just for them, but for the person that they're in a relationship with, of course. This unknown character could call your attention to a role you have taken on or what you might need to adopt. Yeah, that's a trip. A nurse might represent your inner caretaker, or a judge might be reminding you to call on your powers of discernment without being judgmental. Unlike the friends, relatives, and co-workers who appear in dreams, strangers offer a more detached and objective viewpoint. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, observe how they react to the situations you find yourself in. Today, imagine what it would be like to see the world from the perspective of the strangers you encounter. Can doing this help you build empathy for others and for yourself. Somebody here, it looks like they took a good look at their life and they said, wow, I didn't know what I was doing when I made some type of a choice or a decision. Yeah, pretty sure. Maybe to be in a relationship over here, because Mirabai realizes that Mirabai was set up, though, right? That in those days they said, this is who you're going to marry. And she said, ugh, right? She probably cried that night. So she gets married and she finds out that basically that, her husband is like a tyrant, and so are their his parents. Yeah, I hope you guys can hear this because I had this kind of underneath. OMG. So, yeah. So let's continue. And let's go ahead, Sagittarius, and get some tarot cards right now and do the tarot reading itself. If you guys want to get a psychic reading with me or a tarot reading, I always check for accuracies. And my work is accurate, yeah. And yeah, so Mystic Sense is a free 5-minute psychic reading, and the psychic reading or the tarot reading can be on somebody you don't understand or somebody you need to know about, right? I always recommend getting the combination because you get the psychic insights, right, first, and then I do the cards after. So yeah, it's very cool. You choose the formatting, how we're going to do it, and you can get a past life reading with me too, and those are super powerful, and I suppose people are afraid of them because I feel like they are a little bit, but hey, nothing to be afraid of, only wisdom to be gained, yeah, from your past life. We have the Seven of Swords right here, the bottom of the deck, and so what we have here is somebody who planned to like run away, because we have Mirabai here, and that's exactly what she did. Somebody ran away from something. Most likely a relationship. And I don't feel like they knew themselves when they got into it. Maybe the relationship was 20 years ago. Maybe, right? Yeah, and somebody feels afraid and stuck. They do, with the Magician reversed underneath, next to the paralysis card. Yeah, let's see what we have here. And yeah, everything's in the description box, Sagittarius. And as I said, Mystic Sense has a free 5-minute psychic reading too. 4 of Cups is showing up first. And we have the Empress. We have the Page of Wands. And I'm looking at the cards. I can't see them as I pull them because I have to make sure there's no undressed people here. Yeah, we have the Moon, the Emperor. The Magician is here twice. We have, this is about somebody's power and their will and their desire to manifest something here, something that aligns with who they are today, with the Identity card and the Magician reversed. Yeah. Somebody could have thought that, when they, thought about themselves, wow, I've been a stranger to myself. Like I didn't understand myself. I think that's what's going on here. 4 of Swords. And lastly, is the 4 of Wands. So we have 2 4s here. We have the Emperor, who's a 4. This is about somebody and we have the 4 of Cups. This is about somebody who wants stability in their life, or something stable for sure, at the very least. And they have not had that because they didn't know who they were, didn't know themselves, right? It's kind of extreme to say they didn't know who they were, but they didn't know themselves well. It's really what it is. I feel like they do now. And remember, on the Sun card, he's a man now. He's not a little boy riding out on the horse. So he's holding up the sunflower like he has full clarity and wisdom. This is about self-expression as well, because this is a Leo card, the Sun. And that's what he is doing. He's being like true to himself about who he is, right? Leo is the Sun. It really does mean a sense of yourself. Yeah, it does. And so somebody has a great sense of themselves today. Well, that's really good. You can, let the, the person who is, you went to for therapy, you can thank them and leave, or just leave and, maybe they never helped, right? My friend was telling me that his ex goes to, for 20 years, went to a therapist, and she hasn't learned a thing. No, for sure she hasn't. Not to say that some people don't, but she hasn't, right? Which is a little tragic, right? But we have all these fours in the reading, and so therefore this is about somebody who wants stability, as I said. We also have a rejection. We start here with the Four of Cups, and the devotion card is really about I'm rejecting somebody. She rejected her husband, and because it's really about self-expression, like the sun with the grown man there, and this identity crisis card. So this is like I'm rejecting something because it's not fulfilling to me. It's not aligned with my real identity here. Yeah. And the Empress is the crossing energy here. And so why it's all happening is the new path, is the Page of Wands is a new path. Yeah, even has a new jacket on there, it looks like. But the Empress in the challenge means that somebody is looking to make their dreams come true in love, most likely, right? And to create abundance. Let's get another card for themselves, fertility. And we have Judgment with it. So Judgment means there was an ending here, because Judgment is about rebirth. So there's some type of an ending, a transformation. Maybe somebody wants a second chance with you as well, Sagittarius. Somebody who's changed big time and says, now I want Sagittarius back. That could be the case here. There's some type of, the identity card is a major, powerful realization about yourself. And so can Judgment be a powerful realization. Yeah, it can. And so this can be an awakening. That is a powerful realization. If it's not, then, I don't know, then that's crazy, right? Of course it is, I'm saying, but somebody goes through a major change here with the identity crisis card. Yeah. And we have the Eight of Pentacles, Sagittarius, and that's its external to you. That is the person who is devoted to you, who really feels like they're aligned with you. The Eight of Pentacles is about this man's craft. So he's very much aligned with his craft. He's happy. You can tell by the look on his face. He's not working at some job that is not him, that doesn't identify with who he really is. No, this is about this person identifies with you on a soulmate level. Yeah, they do. That's why we have devotion as well. Yeah. And the Magician is the mindset. This is, I need to manifest this. I want to manifest this. This can also be, the Magician can be in this reading, in the context of this reading, can be, I've grown now and I'm stepping into my power. And the Magician knows exactly who he is, big time. That's why he understands his powers. He's not somebody who, who guesses, oh, I'm great at this, and so I know everything about myself, and, I'm very wise. No, usually the people who say that are not at all, right? That's right. And so the Moon is sitting in the past, and let's get a card on the Moon. This is emotional, very emotional in the past, chaos in the past, confusion, doubts and fears in the past. For sure. And now we have the Eight of Wands with it. Yeah. So this is about, there's doubts and fears in the past, confusion, whether or not this person could have change and kind of, progress in their life. And this person felt like things were all up in the air. And with the Eight of Wands on this deck, we see butterflies. Yeah, we do. So we see transformation and change. And somebody really wants this, and there's like a psychological insight with like an intuitive insight. We can call it a psychological, intuitive. They're much the same. Yeah, if you're trusting your intuition, you are trusting your psychology, right? Your psychology of how you see the world and how you see yourself, and your role in relationships and all that kind of stuff, right? It's really kind of trusting deep down your soul. That's really what it's about. And so here, somebody was doing this, but they were in doubt. They were not sure. They had doubts and fears that maybe if they can get you back or something. I feel like this person probably wants a second chance. It does look like that. You might want a second chance with somebody, but there, if it's not that, there's just a major transformation. And somebody could be seeing what they've done wrong too in this reading with this identity crisis, because they could just be seeing what they've done wrong in the past. That could be because they might want forgiveness here. And so we have the Emperor, and that's the concern. And I started the reading saying that somebody needs security, emotional security, and stability. They need their life to be right next to the Moon too. The Moon is about that in a way, because it rules the fourth house of emotional security. So somebody here is seeking their emotional security and they are willing to do the work or change something or end something or start something new, whatever they're doing, because the emperor steps in and he takes control of his empire, right? Could be a one-bedroom apartment, but hey, that doesn't matter. This is about somebody being happy in their life within, like very much so. And they might have to reject an old way of being with this judgment card and awakening. Somebody could have judged themselves big time and said, whoa, you need to wake up. That could be going on. And we have the Knight of Wands, and that's in the psyche or the I beg your pardon, you guys. That is in the environment. We're going to get a card on it, and we have it with the Chariot card. All right, so Chariot's about movement, a lot, kind of like the Eight of Wands. It is about change because there's something moves big time, and something is overcome. There's movement, there's overcoming, there's triumph, there's winning. Yeah, and it has to do with kind of confronting confronting things that are stagnant in a way, because it's another 7. Wow, it's in this. Okay, sometimes it's an 8, but it depends. Usually a 7. But here we have somebody who has evaluated their life with the number 7, and they understand that they need movement. They also understand they need courage with the Knight of Wands, Sagittarius. This is about somebody who has courage, and somebody who learned it the hard way by being scared, by being afraid, by not knowing themselves, by a relationship that didn't work out, it looks like. I mean, somebody really came into who they really are in this reading big time. The Four of Swords is the hopes. It's the hopes and fears. And he's praying, right? So, and we're going to pull this card with it and just kind of went there, right? Didn't know, in Towers right here with it. So, this is about somebody who had a major powerful realization, like the Identity Crisis card, when they were like, they had a powerful realization, and they're hoping that this kind of awakening or difficult awakening or powerful realization, the Tower that came to them, and it could have come in a few forms, but it wasn't nice, I guarantee that. And so they're just hoping and praying here that the Tower will eventually bring them security, and you, Sagittarius. That's what they are hoping and praying for. This could be the ending to a relationship. The Tower can simply be an ending. It's interesting how it's a number 7. So this is about your mind. So these people are jumping to their death. So something could be dying right there, or died. And we know there's some type of ending in a relationship because we have Solitude, and she holds a broken heart. So, yeah, and this is about understanding here that things are ending, and it's actually a good thing, although it comes in as a terrible beginning, kind of. That's how it comes in, and this is already passed. Yeah, it has. We have the Four of Wands showing up in the potential outcome. That can be a marriage. It is a happy ending in any sense or form, because it is a 4 for security, and they're very happy there. This can be a celebration. You might be getting married, Sagittarius. You could, and yeah. So we're going to end this reading, you guys, and yeah, I feel like we're having the Virgo full moon come up, and the new moon, I beg your pardon, on the 21st, which will be an eclipse. For Sagittarius, that is in the 10th house of social status. You might get married in the next, eclipses can last up to a good year and a half. That will be an eclipse. The effects, they can be activated now, and that's a new moon, so that could be planting a seed. You might get married. Social status has a lot. You could retire and things like that. But right here, this looks like a marriage card for me. We're going to end this reading. Thank you so much for joining me. If you want to get a reading with me, check out the description box below. All my readings are there. They're lots of fun, you guys. Thanks so much. And please like, share, and subscribe. I feel like I said that. It helps me to keep the algorithm going, so I can, the YouTube algorithm, so I can keep bringing these to you. I really appreciate you guys. Hit the little bell if you'd like to receive my notifications of when I'm putting my videos out, right? Thank you so much, guys.